Was brought up and told he was straight at times when he was beaten, and lived a lie until the age of 27, then hit depression. And we're going to expand on that. Unfortunately, he attempted suicide twice and then coming out as gay, which he's very, very happy, and we're going to explore all that amazing stuff throughout his journey today in real estate. Oh my goodness. He now has 14 businesses and a property portfolio that he can retire on.
So the advert said, and I can still remember it, earn $100,000 a year in real estate. Alright, so first of all, I was not just brought up to be straight. I was told that I've got multiple businesses. I was literally one of the number one agents in the country, and yet I couldn't cope with being, no one would employ me, so yeah, ended up in car sales, and by chance saw an advert for real estate, no experience needed, and jumped into real estate. I didn't, right? So I'm this hot-headed, I'm so hot-headed and I'm so emotional because I'm a true salesperson. That journey as well, it's not a simple journey. That's been going on for the last 10 years and still going. But with that, I got a lot of strength and got a lot of clarity.
Welcome back to another edition of Leading and Growing Your Real Estate Business. And today we are super honored and privileged to have the man of the moment, Tom Carlin. In 2009, he arrived to Australia on a working holiday visa, came from one of the roughest mining towns in England with $5,000. Then 3 years later, he was writing over $1 million a year in real estate. Oh my goodness. He now has 14 businesses and a property portfolio that he can retire on, and he's not even 40 yet. How good's that? He became Harcourts' youngest number one agent and franchise owner for Australia when he was 26. But he's had many ups and downs too. Was brought up and told he was straight at times when he was beaten, and lived a lie until the age of 27, then hit depression. And we're going to expand on that. Unfortunately, he attempted suicide twice and then coming out as gay, which he's very, very happy, and we're going to explore all that amazing stuff throughout his journey today. Tom, honor and a privilege to have you on the show, mate. Welcome.
Thank you, mate. And it's a privilege to be invited on, so I appreciate it.
Awesome. Mate, WA, when you hit the shores, did you head straight over to WA, or what was the plan when you got here?
So weirdly, the girl that I was with at the time, her parents were going to move to Perth in Scotland, and I was in the UK, like you said, one of the roughest towns, and there was just no hope there anyway. Then they changed, and they were like, I was 17, 18 at the time, but actually we're going to Australia, and it was just like wild. It was just like, well, fair enough, I'll come along. So got here on a working holiday visa, but knew nothing, like never ventured into Europe, never sort of travelled at all. So it was a massive, scary journey. Family thought, back then it was like there was no Skype or anything like that, it was literally the phone cards you used to have to dial in. And that was 2007, I think we got here. And only Perth. It's weird that it was not like a travelling thing. It was like, right, we're going to Perth, we're going to sit there, stay there. And it was just mad. And then when I got here, I couldn't even get a job. I was a qualified IT engineer and no one would employ me. So yeah, ended up in car sales, and by chance saw an advert for real estate, no experience needed, and jumped into real estate.
And look at you now. How good. So you jumped straight into the real estate. Was it straight into sales, or was it another role?
So the advert said, and I can still remember it, earn $100,000 a year in real estate. And at that point, I was in car sales, hated it. I was in there for 3 weeks. Literally, it was like a month after we got here. And I earned $100,000 a year. She interviewed me. She said nothing to me. Yep, cool. Interviewed me, got the job. And it's my naivety. I was 19 at the time, brand new into the country. And I thought, yeah, this is amazing. Like 100 grand, insane. First day I get there, and it was like, no, you don't get paid unless you earn. It's a commission only thing. And I was like, well, I need to earn money. So they actually put me on reception. So they were like, right, you can have reception, 26 grand. So I got my 26 grand salary on reception and did that full time. And then night times and weekends I went and did my own, started to try and build a career.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so then how long were you with that business for, and what were the stages that you took over that period of time?
With them for 18 months, I think just over 18 months in total. So I joined them, I think it was the September of 2007. My first 12 months, I wrote just under $500,000, I think it was. And I didn't get number one rookie, I got number two rookie. I was then poached, so I left them. I became one of their top performers. That was the Rain and Horn Network. So I was already, even 18 months in, I think at 20 years old, when I just turned 20, they were already getting me to train their whole team. So I was training the whole of Rain and Horn already. And this is coming from no experience at all. And then jumped over to Real Mark, so they poached me, went to them for 3 years, I think it was, and became their second number one performer as well. I was just behind Sean Hughes, who was the franchise owner, and obviously a great performer. His mum, and so I was just behind him, writing $1 million plus a year, and that's where I really honed the skills of the marketing and the process-driven marketing as well. That's what I learned there before opening my own agency when I was 24.
Love it. And then what was the mindset shift from going from a top agent and then to opening your own doors? What made that switch for you?
Look, I actually talk to a lot of people about this. I think the switch actually came sooner in terms of it was actually the first agents that taught me. They were so brutal with me on terms of, no, if you want money, you go and sit on our reception and you earn money. But real estate from the start, because I couldn't get my head around. When I arrived for my first, I could not get my head around how the fact they could employ someone and not pay you. And this commission only thing in the UK doesn't, our UK system is totally different to yours. So they straight away taught me about it. No, it's your own business, and everything there was your own expense, your own business. And if you want to use the phone, you had to pay for it. And then and even jumping to Realmark, every call you made at Realmark was a charge. Every piece of paper you used at Realmark was a charge. If you used a receptionist. So straight away, I'm sat there going, well, I'm earning all this money. I'm doing my own marketing because I wasn't using I was out of area. Every single office, they took me out of area. No one would give me the office. I didn't have that luxury. Even when I went and did my first agency, they put me in an area, Bertram, where 5 of their agents had failed before. Even his own daughter couldn't even get there. And the boss didn't like me. His wife employed me. She employed me. He didn't like me. And anyway, so I'm sat there like working my own area, doing my own marketing anyway. Like everything, I had to budget for everything. At this point, when I first started, I had no money at all. Like living on this 26 grand, so I was budgeting anyway. So when it came to opening my own, I was at Realmark, and a few of the agents started leaving. And I was like, well, why do I keep working for someone? I'm doing everything. I'd got my own little team because again, every agency said, no, we don't do your admin, we don't do your calls, we don't do your uploads. You've got to do all that. So I had my first PA, I think, within a year of being in the industry, which was then my girlfriend that I was with, partner. So she came and worked for me. But then my second PA I got as soon as I joined Realmark. So within 2 years of being in the industry, I had 2 PAs working under me. And so I got all my own team anyway. So transitioning then into my own agency, it just seemed easy.
Wow. And then going though from a lead agent then to starting to manage a team, how did you transition, right? How did you transition? Be honest, right?
I didn't, right? So I didn't. So I'm this hot-headed, I'm so hot-headed and I'm so emotional because I'm a true salesperson. I am not, I can lead in terms of, I'm a good leader in terms of I'll go out and show what needs to be done. Sure. But I do struggle. I'm severely ADHD, slightly autistic, so I do struggle with that connection that you need to run a team properly. So now I really struggle with that. What I was amazing at was I'm amazing at finances, I'm amazing at marketing, and I'm really good at building a business in terms of the rent roll and things like that. So I knew that straight away. So that side was great. But I think today, again, I've been in business now 14, 15 years, but I've probably had close to 1,000 staff.
Wow.
And it's just, there was a running joke that if you wanted to leave, you just put your name on the door because every week there was a leaving party. So, no, yeah, I know, it's not good.
So has that changed over the years, or what have you done to recognise those strengths and backfill that part of the business?
Look, James, I have actually really struggled with that. It's changed in terms I'm not as hot-headed anymore. So yes, we do keep staff a lot longer. I've had a few people 5 years, 10 years, whatever it might be now. So I have managed to keep people a lot longer, but I'm still very sharp in terms of it is hard to work with me because I'm just all guns blazing. I'm a roller coaster in life with so much going on in my life. I'm a roller coaster. I do still struggle. I'd rather do something myself than have someone do it mediocre. And so I do still run it. We've only got 10 staff at the moment, so I have struggled. What I have acknowledged though is I do need a very good GM, which is what I'm looking for at the minute. Someone to come in and like run it and take over that part. And that's the transition that I've made. I've lost that arrogance if I can do everything, and I've now gone, no, I know that, I'm a great sales agent, I'm a great negotiator, I'm great with clients, but yeah, what I need now is someone to actually take over the business side of things.
That's so important, right? And hat off to you to acknowledge that, knowing what your strengths are, but also knowing that, we need to backfill that, and a good GM will actually really take care of that. I want to grab something around those challenging days. You've had some dark days, and I want to just I don't think it's talked enough within the industry, and I want to hear from you what happened with those dark days. How did you get there?
All right. So first of all, I was not just brought up to be straight. I was told that I couldn't be a faggot, can't be a puffed. I was beaten not just by my dad, but by other people as well. That's just the life that I come from. Come from one of the roughest towns. And back then, yes, the world's changed now, but I thought being gay was a disease. I literally thought it was. I looked into conversion therapy, electric shock. I told myself that you're not gay. It's just a disease you've got, and I went through that whole thing. So when I bought another business. When I was 25, 26, I bought a marketing company. Realised that I was gay. Got attached to a guy there that actually had that company, and realised that I was gay, but I just didn't accept it. So I went through the darkest possible time. So that was 26 to 27. Split up with a girl I was with her for 10 years, and then I ended up with this guy for 7 years. But that 3-year period, we went through court proceedings because the ex, she took me to court, so I was going through the court proceedings. They had an injunction to remove me from my own company, so I was actually being removed from the Carlin company anyway, which I could not put my brain around. It was my business, but she ended up getting that approved in court. And on top of that, I was dealing with the fact that I didn't want to be gay, and I didn't accept I was gay. I couldn't even open that. If we'd have had this conversation when I was 31, 32, I could not even, until I was 33, I think it was, say that I was gay. That's how long, even from 27 coming out to 33, it took me so long to actually be able to say to people, yeah, I'm gay and I'm proud to be it. So it was just that horrible situation that I hate to say it, but I was carried out of the office. I could not literally cope some days. I was carried out of the office because I just couldn't cope. I sat in a dark room for 3-4 days just wanting to end my life. And so I know all of that stuff. Yes, I have tried to commit suicide twice. And this is someone, keep in mind, when I was going through this, my sister had just had a baby that was terminally ill. So I'm 27 years old. My sister's got a baby that's terminally ill that needs basically a miracle to live. I've got everything. I've got so much money, it's unbelievable. I can retire if I wanted to. I've got multiple businesses. I was literally one of the number one agents in the country, and yet I couldn't cope with being me. And so I just wanted to end it. And so I was dealing with not wanting to be me because that's how I was brought up, not thinking that I could be gay and not wanting to be gay, dealing with the shame of going, well, I want to kill myself, but how can I do that when, like, my sister's there on the other side of the world with this little baby that needs a life, and I'm there going, I want to end mine for these stupid reasons. It was just an insane time. And so it's just the power of getting through, like, depression, once it hits hard. And it changed my whole thought process on mental illness and everything. And with that, then obviously I went through that whole process, got better, worked myself out, accepted myself, which was the biggest thing, started to love myself. And that's the biggest thing, and I'm still on that journey as well. It's not a simple journey. That's been going on for the last 10 years and still going. But with that, I got a lot of strength and got a lot of clarity around me and who I am and what I am, and changed as a person as well. It's mad to think, and the psychologist said this, that I had this persona of what I was. I used to think being number one, which is why we got number one agent in Harcourts, and I used to thought that was the be all and end all. It was all about money and showing that money and power, and now I've realised it's actually not. Yes, it's good. I still want to be the best, and I still want to do the best, but I want to be the best that I can now. I don't want to have to compare myself to other people and go, well, I need to be number one because I don't anymore. And that's the real good thing about it.
What was it? And really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing that, because I think it needs to be discussed. It needs to be shared, and you've got an incredible journey of what you got through. But I'm really interested to find out, though. You've said a couple of different things around working with your psychologist, start to look at yourself, start to accept yourself. What was some of those other things that helped you got through it? Yes, it's still a journey that you're on, but what was some of those turning points for you?
I think acceptance is the biggest one. Acceptance to go, and that came probably 18 months, 2 years after going, yes, I'm gay and this is who I am. Letting go of of the past and just letting go of the issues, working out what the issues were, which I realised mine was a lot of shame around being gay, and obviously I came from, again, like I said, the area of faggot boy and puffer and all of this, gay boy, and so it's like mine was just letting go of all of that, and that took time. The angles that I used to do it was honestly talking to people, exposing yourself to the world, and talking to other people, not being ashamed to talk. And I think we've got a lot of shame when we're looking at anything in life, that we carry a lot of stuff in ourselves. But my biggest thing came from talking to complete strangers that I could feel comfortable with. Those closest to me, I couldn't tell anyone close to me. But when I found a complete stranger that knew nothing about me, they're the ones that helped the most. And that literally was just connecting with someone at an event or something like that, and then having that freedom to go, well, you don't know anything about me, so you can't judge me. And therefore I could be honest with them. And that really helped me work on it, open my world up. And it, like I said, it wasn't, I don't want to lie and go, yeah, this was an easy battle, because it was 5-6 years before I actually went, do you know what, I'm actually in a good place. And it's still taking me even longer to even truly love myself. I was in a lot of abusive relationships as well, where people had a lot of power over me, and it's learning about all of those things, and working on them and ticking the boxes. I do a lot of work on myself. I constantly think, how can I be a better person? Not for anyone else, but for me. And that's what I think, when I came out of this, now I work on the fact of, how can I be better in myself all the time, recognise my downfalls, but recognise these, because we do drop back into it all the time. We constantly drop back into, am I good enough? Am I, what do people think of me? And you just have to constantly remind yourself, and ground. And I go back to my family a lot, and I ground myself a lot with my family. My sisters and my mum, I don't talk to my dad anymore, but my sister and my mum mean the world to me, and my little niece and nephews. And so I often grounded myself with them, and that really helped pull me back to where I am.
Love it. Beautiful advice and beautiful suggestions. Moving forward, though, what are some of the things that you do on a daily basis to help you stay grounded? I know family's a big component there, but are there any other things that you do to help you move forward, to help you put one foot in front of the other on a daily or a weekly basis?
Daily, it's got to be like the gym. So I only got into gyms 5 years. I was not one of these people. I remember 5-6 years ago, people speaking about, the 4 a.m. club, and you've got to get up at 4 a.m. to be successful. I used to get out of bed. When I was the number one agent in Australia, I used to get out of bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock, straight to the office, no food, no drink, no water, no exercise. And I was still, so this whole, phenomenon that, you've got to be, these high performers have got to be these set things. You never know who a high performer can be. But now I am very big in, for mentally, I am very big in the gym, right? I think mentally, for me, if you can achieve something, you can go through that session. The gym, when I push myself that hard, now I own gyms at the moment, so it is a bit different, but when I push myself that hard, I know it's, but I push myself to a point in the gym where I forget everything and go through a pain barrier that really helps mentally to go, do you know what, I got through that, I can get through anything else. So that's the first thing. The second thing is bring myself back. If I go through issues, and I do often have them, people threatening you with court, people threatening anything, I to ground myself, I bring myself back, and I've got a sort of philosophy that I just take myself back to where I was and look at how far I've come. And then look at everything else in my mind where people are at the world, and I remind myself this, I'm a very empathetic person, and then just pinch myself to go, do you know what, no matter what we've got, we're living, we're breathing, we're healthy. You've got $10 in the bank, which is more than most of the world, which is what people forget. Even $10 in the bank, I can't remember the stats, but it's still, that still percentage is still a massive percentage just to have $10 in the bank. And again, it's easier for me because I come from I support my family. So I sort of help my family. I've paid for a lot. I saved my mum's house when my mum was going to lose her house. I saved her house. I got off. She was earning £2.50 an hour driving taxis. Got her out of that and got her working for me in England. And so it's easy for me to ground myself. I just pick up the phone to them, work out what they're going through. My little niece is now 11, but she's still terminal. She needs 6 new organs. So even just to connect with her, that's how I do it. And I use people a lot as well. So you've got family, and a lot of people go, well, if I've not got any family, which I don't have any family here, so I created my own family. Like I said, I've been in an abusive relationship, so 3-4 years ago, I lost all my friends, I lost my house, everything. I went through another separation, lost all my money and everything, rebuilt again. But friendships is the biggest thing. You can create them. They take work, they take effort. You've got to go out there and find your people, but I did. And I use them now a lot. If I'm feeling down and low and I've got too much going on, I've got pressures of businesses and all of this happening, I'll often reach out to friends and just for a chat, just for that, someone said, I can't remember who it was, but there was someone said that it takes 8 minutes to bring someone back. And there's a quote where it's like 8 minutes will change someone's world. And if you have a conversation, if someone's struggling, they can go from wanting to end their life. Within 8 minutes, you can get them back round just by having a conversation, not about anything, but just by listening. And I'm a big believer in that. So yeah, I always say that to people: ring me if you need me. But on the flip side, I ring a lot of people just to go, hey, talk to me.
Fantastic. Some awesome strategies there, mate. Really, really appreciate it. And it's so important, having that gratitude, leaning in with family, leaning in with friends, and obviously getting professional help there as well. So fantastic, and hat off to you. So good, so good. What does now then the future look like for yourself, for Carlin? Like, you've got so many moving pieces and moving plates on the go at the moment. Where does the future look like for you?
So, with so many moving, I think the future is, again, I've lost that arrogance of I need all these businesses. I am great at real estate. For me, it's now accepting, and the focus is, right, I'm great at real estate, that's what I want to do. I still love it. The passion is still there from the day I first started. If I help someone, meet someone, sell a house for them and move them to their next journey, that's what I love doing. So yeah, for me, it's selling the businesses, selling a lot of the other businesses. I'm going to literally cut my businesses into a third. So I'm going to get rid of probably 10 of them and keep 4 or 5. Focus purely on real estate. I'll invest my money elsewhere I've got a lot of investment pipelines, things like that. So my focus is just purely growing Carlin team. And with that, employing the right people, giving them the power as well. So selling part of the Carlin team, which I've started doing, to bring people in and say, right, you can have business ownership, but I trust you. Like Nathan, one of my business partners, one of my best mates, I've got him where I said, right, you can buy into the business and you can become a business owner, but that takes the reins off me and it sort of shares it as well. I'm recognising, like what you say, right, well, I'm not good at that, so I need someone to do that. We've just got top 5. I want to get to my team sort of, we're doing about just under 4 million at the minute. I want to do 5 million and then get up to 10 million, but do it in the right way. And I only do it because not for doing it, just because I want to know that I can get to something I personally want to do for no other reason than that. So that's what it looks like for me, and just stabilising. I've got a really good work-life balance at the moment in terms of my balance is actually more partying and then a little bit of work, but getting back into work and doing it properly. I've probably been worked about 20 to 30% in the past 12, which is why I'm shocked when you mentioned top 5. I'm shocked that we got that because I have only been working 20 to 30% on real estate. I've just had that sort of time out to regroup, and so getting back in is exciting in trying to hit something big.
Fantastic. Awesome. So exciting. Now, Tom, on our show, we have our 60-second quiz to find out a little bit more about our guests. Are you willing to play?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Favourite movie?
Blindside.
Favourite food?
McDonald's. I hate to say it, but a quarter pounder burger. Hate to say it. I always say if I ever die, quarter pounder burger.
So good. Favourite holiday destination?
Las Vegas.
What's your morning routine now?
Gym in the morning. So wake up, emails, check in with everything, Facebook, all of that. Get to the gym and really go hard at the gym. Out of gym, shower, and then into the office and start the day. Fantastic.
Do you have an evening routine?
I like to wind down in the evening, so again, I try and just chill out. Instagram Reels, I'm addicted to Reels, that's my ADHD. So yeah, chill out, just wind down. Always try and eat healthy at night though. So in the day, I sort of can eat what I want-ish, but then the night time is healthy eating, I drink loads of tea, cup of tea, and just, wind down and check out.
Fantastic. Do you have a most embarrassing moment?
I've got quite a few of them. I'd probably say one of the most embarrassing moments is what I did. Me and Nathan were seriously hungover one time at a home open. Not laid on the couch, but I'm slumped on the couch at a home open. Now, this is in the market. No one was coming through the home open. It was the last home open of the day. Slumped on the couch. Nathan had got a drink out of the fridge, which was an open fridge, and all our clients say get a drink whenever you want. but slumped on the couch and saw a GoPro camera watching us. And the clients, and that was like, not that, like I say, it wasn't doing anything wrong, but I still, as a professional person, like to be literally slumped on the couch during the home opens. That probably is. And in the industry, the most embarrassing part is everyone talked about it in the industry because obviously it spreads like wildfire. And then the whole thing in the industry was the fact that we'd made ourselves a roast dinner at the house, and we'd literally, we'd making sandwiches and lunch, and then it turned into a roast dinner during the home open. It was, and that probably is, that sticks in me for the career.
Fantastic. If you could choose 5 inspirational people to have dinner with, who would they be? They could be dead or alive.
We were just talking about this. Princess Diana. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, Princess Diana. Queen Elizabeth. I did get the chance, and I'd do it again. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I refused. I got the chance to go on and play poker with him at his house, and I said no, and then I watched him speak, and I was blown away. So Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've seen Richard Branson, and I've spoke with Richard Branson, but again, I still love that guy. So yeah, him as well. And then I'd probably say Elon Musk, maybe. He's such a unique personality, and I think his brain, like he's obviously autistic or whatever he is, he's got something, and I've got that, and so yeah, I think they'd probably be my 5.
Fantastic. Do you have a biggest regret?
Not being more honest with myself. Not accepting myself and being more honest. And I wouldn't say it's regret, I'd say it's a life lesson to learn, to go constantly, hey, just remember, I don't have any regrets. People ask me, do I have any regrets? No, I've got no regrets because they're all life lessons and I've learned from everything. But yeah, if I've been more honest with myself up front, and that you can relate to that in any part. I talk to a lot of people this about, well, how does that relate to other people? Even in business, being honest about, well, where are we going, what are we doing? Can I do that job? Can I not do that job? Just accepting the fact that, yeah, I am who I am, and not being ashamed about that.
Fantastic. And if you're Prime Minister for the day, what's one thing that you would change?
The welfare system. The welfare system. Everyone needs support, and everyone does need support, but I think it's absolutely corrupt. I think there's so many people that could be helped in different ways. Homeless people, for example. Yes, I don't think everyone needs houses. I'd create centres for homeless people in terms they can go and get a bed for a night. I don't think anyone should sleep on the streets. On the flip side, though, I'd take away the housing that's given to people just for free, and I'd make people work for it. So yeah, I think that whole system is corrupt at the moment.
Very true. What would be your best piece of advice for someone maybe just starting out in the industry, and then maybe from a seasoned agent?
I think with anyone, it's never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Everyone always says that to me. Nothing's ever good enough. You always seem to be just going forward. Why don't you just settle and be happy with what you've got? And I think the biggest piece of advice is if you get to 10, try and get to 20, and constantly keep doing that. And that's not just, I'm not just talking about money or whatever it might be. Just try and be better every day. Ross Hunter, a good friend, I've not seen him in a while, but a good friend, always used to say to me, with your net wealth, try and grow it by 20%. Don't look at anything else. If you've got $10 today, next year try and grow that so you've got $12. Then the year after, 20% more. And that stuck with me. I always just want to try and do more. So that would be, in terms of life advice, that's what I'd say to anyone. Anyone in real estate, if you said, well, what would give advice for people wanting to make it in the industry? Be ethical every single day of your life. Have the morals that your grandma would have, and just look after people. If you hustle, you do everything else that's just a process, but you've got those three. You look after people, you want to do right by people, you'll go tenfold in this industry.
Fantastic. And how can the audience find out more, follow you, and connect with you?
You can find out a lot by following me. Real Tom Carlin on Instagram. I am as honest as they come, too honest, everyone says. Real Tom Carlin on Instagram. Or reach out. And I suppose more so reach out, and I genuinely do mean this, and I've had a lot of people do it. If anyone is struggling with depression, with life, with not wanting to be here, those are the people that they reach out. I'm always happy to have a chat about depression, about what I've been through, about the different mental illnesses, and like I say, I'm severely ADHD and I'm slightly autistic as well. That was actually important, getting diagnosed and working what it is. So yeah, just reach out on those. We have got coaching programs and podcasts coming up as well myself. I'm going to start all that this year. Real Tom Carlin's the easiest way.
Awesome. Tom, really appreciate your time, energy, and experience, mate. Thank you for joining us on the show today.
Mate, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.